Season under Coach Hodge. West Virginia in white, Mount St. Mary's in blue. It's time to tip off a new season at Hope Coliseum, and West Virginia wins the opening tip.
Mount St. Mary's starting out man-to-man.
And a whistle on the first possession. Referees for tonight's season opener, Brett Smith, Tyler Kumpf, and John Gaffney. They'll get Mason So, the junior for Mount St. Mary's, with his first personal 9 seconds into the game. For West Virginia, in the starting five, two players that were on Coach Hodge's squad at North Texas last season, Brennan Lorient and Jasper Floyd. Honor Huff, the sharpshooter. That's Trey Eaglestaff. Back to Floyd in the key. First bucket of the season for Jasper Floyd, the transfer from North Texas.
Boy, and Jasper Floyd is here to run the offense for Coach Hodge. Playing great defense, and causes a turnover right away with an over and back.
That's two good possessions there for West Virginia in the first 30 seconds. Get the bucket from Floyd, and he forces the turnover with the backcourt violation.
And he's going up against an excellent point guard in Xavier Lipscomb. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is good, something to watch all night.
Lipscomb in the starting five for the Mount. So is Anastasis Rozakaias, the transfer from Florida State. Here's Lipscomb in transition. A little bit too much body there from Brennan Lorient.
Yeah. Belo tried to get a good angle for that block, but too much body.
Clear run out there from Lipscomb. Preseason All-MAAC third team in the Metro Atlantic. Mount St. Mary's, a team that went to the NCAA tournament a season ago by winning the Metro Atlantic tournament. And Lipscomb was a key part of that run and will be a key player for the Mount this season, led by second-year head coach Donnie Lind, a graduate of Loyola, Maryland. He's the 23rd head coach in the history of the Mount. Last season, 23 wins, set a new program record for victories in a season as a Division I squad. Lipscomb 2 for 2. And a full court press here from the visitors. Here's Trey Eaglestaff for West Virginia. All 5 Mountaineers in the starting lineup tonight. Transfers from other schools. In fact, WVU only has one returning player from last year's squad still on the roster. Here's Jasper Floyd. Under 10 to shoot for West Virginia. Trey Eaglestaff for 3, off iron.
Quick release, just couldn't get it to go.
The other player we haven't mentioned yet in the starting five for West Virginia is Harlan Obioha, and he's hard to miss at 7 feet. Here he is defending Luke McElden. Give to Mason So in a baseline drive. 2 turnovers for the Mount in the first 84 seconds of the game.
And you can see the pressure that West Virginia puts on the ball. So totally out of control just now, threw it out of bounds. You'll see that out of West Virginia all evening.
More pressure from the Mount. Here's Brennan Lorient giving it to Floyd, 2 former Mean Green teammates still together in gold and blue for West Virginia this season. Obioha inside to Belo. To Honor Huff, who led the nation in threes last season. It's Floyd who triggers a 3. Swish. Jasper Floyd with 5 points in the first 2 minutes. McElden is stripped by Obioha, and it's a foul on the redshirt junior from London, England. Second team foul as we take a look at that bucket from Floyd.
Boy, defense slow getting out on Floyd, and he knew exactly what to do with it.
Can't leave a player like him all alone, Bake, like that. 9 points per game last season for North Texas. Also led the squad in assists and in steals. He had a 2.0 assist to turnover ratio last year, a guy that Coach Hodge really trusts. DJ Thomas into the game for WVU, down low to Lorient, who misses on the low block. First substitution for West Virginia. Another strip. Thomas with the steal. Run out for West Virginia. Lorient, left hand, is good.
Mount St. Mary's problem right now, they're not strong with the ball. They're too weak. West Virginia's, anything they get a hand on, they're getting.
4 turnovers for Mount St. Mary's. 3 in the last minute, 50 seconds. Here's Trey DeVoe, also a new entrant to this game. To Anastasis Rosakaias. Back to Rosakaias, the sophomore. 8 to shoot. Around to Lipscomb, trying to go inside to McElden. 3 on the timer, has to heave it up. Air ball. Second chance off iron, and a West Virginia rebound with a 5-point lead. All 7 points for WVU coming from North Texas transfers, Floyd and Lorient. Floyd working inside against So, and he's fouled before the shot.
You know, sometimes when you're not used to seeing an aggressive defense like West Virginia's playing, you come out and try to match them, but if you haven't been practicing that or doing it, you can pick up some silly fouls.
So that's the second foul on So. To that point, Bake. Couple of changes here for WVU. Obioha back into the game, and first minutes for Morris Ugasuk.
Boy, nice defense inside.
So for West Virginia, it's Floyd, Thomas, Obioha, Ugasuk, and Huff on the floor with a 5-point lead early in the first half, but it's now a 3-point lead after the bucket from DeVoe, his first of the game.
Not too often you see 2 left-handed point guards going at each other. That's what we have here in Floyd and Lipscomb.
Honor Huff for 3, off mark. That's what he wants to do, though, Bake, right? That's his game, the senior from Chattanooga. 5th turnover for Mount St. Mary's. It's a run out, and it's another bucket for Jasper Floyd. 7 points, 9-4 WVU.
Boy, nice job by DJ Thomas. He looked like a point guard bringing the ball down.
So down low, good feed from Mason So. Trey DeVoe converts again. 1 possession game early in the first half.
Yeah, DeVoe got good position on Thomas just now.
Mountaineers lead at 9-6. They lead Mount St. Mary's in points off turnovers 7-2. A whistle and another stoppage. It's a foul on McElden, and that'll lead us to our first timeout. It's former
leads vocally or by example, Nick.
Great stuff there, Amanda. New entrant for West Virginia is the true freshman Amir Jenkins. He'll trigger it for WVU on the baseline as play resumes with the Mountaineers up by 3. Jenkins, 6'2", exciting talent from the state of Massachusetts. Gives it over to Huff, the senior, for 3. Short. Rebound, Mount St. Mary's. Justin Amati had it stripped by Obioha. He goes up strong and is fouled. And Justin Amati, the transfer from Tulsa, has his first personal. That's 5 team fouls quickly on the Mount here in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Boy, and a lot of those turnovers have been West Virginia just stripping the ball from them. They're not strong enough just to hold it back. You can see West Virginia's strength program taking over right there.
Mount St. Mary's, 5 turnovers in the first 4+ minutes of this game, Bake. As Obioha makes the first of 2. He was a 62% free throw shooter last season at UNC Wilmington. That one short. Morris Ugasuk trying to scrap for it. Still loose. And it looks like the Mount will come away with it here. 4-point West Virginia lead after Obioha goes 1 for 2 from the line. WVU shooting just below 50% from the field in this game. Thomas picks up his first personal. 2 freshmen out there for West Virginia. Thomas, also a freshman from Allen, Texas. His birthday was yesterday. He's a 6'9" forward paired up with fellow freshman Amir Jenkins, 6'2" guard for WVU. Also out there, Ugasuk, Huff, and Obioha. And here's Rosakaias, the native of Athens, Greece, for the Mount. Gives it to DeVoe. He's got 4 points and wants to stay hot. That one clanks off the back of the rim. Huff lost his footing. Jenkins on the dirt for it. Amati with a great feed to DeVoe, who flushes. Trey DeVoe.
Well, good scrappy move by the Mount just now. That ball was loose on the floor, and they came up with it and got an easy basket out of it.
2-point West Virginia lead after DeVoe scores his third field goal. The Mount hanging right with West Virginia, although that's another foul on Mount St. Mary's.
Well, it needs to be said, too, Mount St. Mary's is not deep. They have a lot of guys hurt. They got a very limited roster right now.
That's a great point, Bake, as we take another look at the flush from DeVoe, the grad transfer from Western Illinois. It's a great point, Bake, because 5 players are inactive tonight for Coach Lynn's team, including Arlandis Keys, who was huge for the Mount in the postseason, averaging about 12 points per game in 5 postseason games last March. He was an all-tournament team player in the Metro Atlantic. Jenkins for 3 is off the mark. Chance for Mount St. Mary's to either tie the score or take the lead on this possession with under 14 to go in the first half. Amati kicks it to Rosakais, who had 21 points in the exhibition against Hood College. That was a team high. Almost threw it away there to Amati. Baseline drive, 5 to shoot. Obioha's all over him. Big time resistance there from the big fella, Harlan Obioha.
Holding his ground, did not bring his arms down, created the turnover.
That goes down as number 6 in the game for the Mount. Great baseline help there, Bake. I mean, that's textbook stuff.
Yes, it is. Cut that baseline off, get those arms straight up.
Both of these teams getting fresh legs in as often as possible. Obioha here, now Huff on the far side. Back to Obioha, and now it's Trey Eaglestaff. A great scorer at North Dakota, looking for his first points for West Virginia. Can't find it there. Still a 1-possession game early in this action. So kicks it to Patrick Haig, just entered the game. Justin Amati. Lipscomb, cross-court pass to an open Mason So. Great ball fake, and a 3, short. Who touched it last? Looks like it'll stay in possession of Mount St. Mary's with 12:38 to go.
Floyd and Eaglestaff both there, need to corral it. As careless as Mount St. Mary's has been with the ball, they're still only 2 down right now.
So gets another look from that same spot. He hits that time, and for the first time, Mount St. Mary's has the lead, 11-10.
Coach Hodge will not like to see an open 3 like that.
First 3 of the game for the Mount. 2.5 minute scoring drought here for West Virginia, which trails for the first time. Lorient down low to the freshman Thomas. Trying to go up strong, and he's fouled by Yahya Diop, the 7-foot freshman for the Mount.
Nice inbounds play by the Mount. So ready, he missed the last one, but that time he took his time, teed it up, and knocked it down. They hit 17 threes against Hood College when they played them in their exhibition game. They were 17 for 45 from 3. I didn't think they'd get that many threes. Hood College played zone the entire night, and the Mount just knocked them down, but I didn't expect them to get that many threes tonight, and they won't get that many.
Thomas has tied the score by making the first of 2 free throws. By the way, the foul on Diop, which is his first, is 7 team fouls for the Mount in less than 8 minutes of action in the season opener. Another trip to the line for West Virginia goes 1 for 2. Mountaineers 2 for 4 in the game. Here's Lipscomb, who Hodge called the head of the snake earlier today. And a timeout as Floyd applies some pressure. We'll step aside for a quick break. All tied up. Mountaineers 11 all the way around here at Hope Coliseum. Errol, Warren Baker, Amanda Mazey with you for the season opener here from Morgantown, West Virginia. Mason So had it stripped away by Honor Huff. He's got to put it up, though. 2 seconds on the shot clock. It was tapped by Eaglestaff. It looks like we're going to get maybe a second put back onto the shot clock here.
Can't be more than a second.
Looks like 4/10. Although right now they've got 4/10 on the game clock and not the shot clock. One thing to keep an eye on, Bake, that jumped out during that last timeout. Mount St. Mary's with the edge on the glass right now.
Yes, it is.
10 boards to West Virginia's 4 with 8 defensive rebounds for the Mount. So less than a half a second on the shot clock. Haig's got to heave it off the window. No rim, shot clock violation. That goes down as the 6th turnover for Mount St. Mary's. So West Virginia so far getting it done on defense. But it's tied up with the Mount right now, 11 apiece, and only 2 players for WVU have converted field goals. Jasper Floyd and Brennan Lorient. They're both on the floor for WVU right now. Both of them came from North Texas with Coach Hodge. Here's Honor Huff. If he gets going, he'll be tough to stop. That's a mid-range jumper off iron. Huff now 0 for 3 to start this ball game. Mason So goes inside to Diop, and he scores. Mount St. Mary's leads again.
Well, nice touch by Diop and excellent pass by So inside.
West Virginia has made 1 of its last 7 from the field, approaching nearly 5 minutes consecutively without a field goal. The one positive for West Virginia right now, though, is that the Mount continues to foul.
Well, the one thing that Coach Hodge was upset about when they had the scrimmage with Maryland, the poor free throw shooting. Said we have good free throw shooters, but we weren't converting them. So if you get the line, that's good, but you got to make them once you get there.
So that's the 3rd foul on So, who has just taken a seat. He's a key player in the rotation for the Mount as Lorient makes the first of a 1-and-1 here. So really filling up the score sheet. Not just with points, though he does have a 3-pointer. He had 5 rebounds also and a pair of assists here in the first 9+. Lorient in and out, and another Mountaineer goes 1 for 2 at the stripe.
Well, that's a big foul for So, as thin as they are on the bench. That's a big one for him to have to sit.
Another Mount St. Mary's turnover. Here's Jasper Floyd. Can't finish it, and the Mount has another rebound. Anastasis Rosakais to Patrick Haig. Another run out for West Virginia. Lorient with the flush. First field goal in nearly 5.5 minutes for WVU. And of course it comes in transition. Brennan Lorient, 5 points. Another deflection for West Virginia. Haig to Rosakais. He hits from the corner.
And that's what Rosakais can do. He's a long-range bomber, and boy, you leave him open like that, you will pay.
The Mount now 2 for 3 from beyond the arc, making 3 consecutive field goals. 2 ties, 3 lead changes in this ball game. Right now, Mount St. Mary's has a 2-point edge. Floyd in the paint.
Yep.
And he's got 9 for West Virginia. Him and Lorient combining for 14 of West Virginia's 16 points in a tie ball game with just over 9 to play in the first half. Mountaineers have been suffocating Mount St. Mary's defensively. That time, Morris Ugasuk getting a little bit too friendly. His first personal foul. Mount St. Mary's 18 fouls. That's just 3 now for West Virginia.
As the game goes on, you see West Virginia continue to sub. You wonder if numbers for the Mountaineers, West Virginia Mountaineers, will take over. May try to wear down Mount St. Mary's.
Rosickeas, DeVoe, Lipscomb, Haig, and McElden in the game right now for the Mounts. And another foul here on West Virginia. It might be back-to-back on Ugasuk. Referee sorting it out. Instead, it will be on Amir Jenkins. Nope, check that. It will be on Ugasuk, two in quick succession.
Eagle staff up, probably coming in the game for him.
Eagle staff will be permitted to enter after the first free throw here from Lipscomb. Xavier Lipscomb, third season at the Mount. That's his first free throw miss. Eagle staff does check back into the game. And Ugasuk to the bench. So for West Virginia, it's Lorient, Jenkins, Huff, Eagle staff, and Thomas, the five on the floor. Lipscomb, the transfer from Radford, who previously played for former West Virginia Mountaineer Darius Nichols, has just given the Mount the lead again. He's got 3 points, all from the free throw line, 1 point cushion for the visitors. Honor Huff still looking for his first basket for West Virginia tonight. Into Thomas, the freshman. Tough finish with the right hand. WVU back in front.
Boy, you really got to like that freshman. He doesn't play like a freshman. He has a lot of confidence, and that's what you want to see.
Fourth lead change. West Virginia now the team in front. Can Haig change that? Off the rim. Rosickeas offensive rebound. Lipscomb to DeVoe in the corner. Back around to Haig. And now it's Luke McElden against the freshman Thomas. Trying to back him in. McElden can't get it to drop. Lorient saves it on the baseline. Here's Amir Jenkins. Two freshmen on the floor again for WVU. Jenkins going to the rack. Out to Thomas for three. Too strong. Looked like Lorient was in position there to get the board, but instead Mount St. Mary's has it again. Lipscomb almost lost it. Lipscomb coming around to get it from McElden. Tough shot down low, and he's fouled. West Virginia leads Mount St. Mary's 18-17 on opening night at Hope Coliseum. WVU along with Huff as we resume play. Averaged just shy of 19 points per game a season ago for North Dakota. So before the break, DJ Thomas picked up his second personal foul to send Lipscomb back to the free throw line. This is his third trip to the line, and he's now 4 for 5. So while West Virginia has the edge in turnovers forced, the Mount is dominating WVU on the glass as Lipscomb hits both free throws. Mount St. Mary's plus 10 in rebounding.
Yeah. And despite the low numbers, they are still pressing full court.
Huff to Eagle staff. They're a combined 0 for 5, those two. They go back to across the court. Floyd with a little hesitation. Trying to score from inside. Can't put it over the rim. Chance for a run out maybe here for the Mount. DeVoe for three. Too strong. Obioha with the rebound. 7 minutes left in the first half. Tightly contested ball game with 4 ties and 5 lead changes. And Amadi hooked Harlan Obioha on the entry pass. That is Amadi's second foul, becoming the third Mount St. Mary's Mountaineer with multiple personals. So has 3, and he's on the bench. Haig has exited the game, replaced by Espinoza, as Obioha goes to the bench. Or goes to the foul line, I should say. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good from the 7-footer.
He's really worked on his free throw shooting since he's been on the campus here.
Missed the second. It was last touched, though, by Mount St. Mary's, and West Virginia will get an extra possession here. And that's now the 4th time West Virginia has gone to the free throw line, made the first free throw, and then missed the second. One more foul puts the Mount in the double bonus. Great feed to Lorient from Floyd. You can tell those two have maybe done that once or twice before, Bake.
Yeah, back screen. Mount St. Mary's fell asleep, and he was wide open for the flush.
The former Mean Green duo has 16 of West Virginia's 21 points as the Mountaineers pull back in front. It's the 6th lead change of the evening. Espinoza inside. Can't find the bottom of the cup. Who touched it last? West Virginia did.
Yep.
Just a great feed there from Jasper Floyd to Lorient for his second dunk of the game. 2 Florida natives, 2 former North Texas stars. By the way, Lorient in the starting lineup tonight for WVU, technically making his first collegiate start. He was the 6th man of the year in the AAC last year. Rosakayas for 3 with a hand in his face. That's his second knockdown from beyond the arc. And the Mounts back in front by a point.
And that was a tough shot. You know, he just went up above everybody and let it go.
Mount St. Mary's 3 for 6 from 3. West Virginia 1 of 7. Obioha will go back to the free throw line here.
Boy, Donnie Lynn did not like that call. He thought it was late.
Quick movement there by Rosakayas. The second-year collegiate player, transfer from Florida State. So, by the way, that's the 3rd foul on Amadi. Maybe something else that Coach Lynn doesn't like, Bake, is that he has 2 players with 3 fouls.
3 fouls, yep.
Meanwhile, Obioha is now 2 for 5 from the line.
You know, you get to the line, making 1 out of 2 over the long haul is not going to get it done for you. You've got to shoot better than 50%.
6 ties, 7 lead changes now. How about 8 lead changes? Basket and the foul for Amadi. He got caught with the personal on the other end. He has a chance for a 3-point play here.
Boy, nice move by Amadi to sneak inside, get good position. Obioha came over the back and fouled him now. He's on the bench. Coach Rush Hodge is trying to get a combination that he feels comfortable with. He keeps switching a lot of players around.
Amadi converts the 3-point play. Patrick Haig, the junior from Altoona, Pennsylvania, back into the ballgame as the Mount leads by 3 over West Virginia on the road on opening night. Under 6 to go in the first half. WVU still looking for a basket from both Honor Huff and Trey Eaglestaff there on the floor. It's Floyd inside, looking for help. Out to Morris Ugasuk. And Brendan Lorient. Back to Eaglestaff. Now to Lorient at the foul line. 5 seconds to shoot. Lorient can't get it to roll through. Elijah Espinoza with the give to Rosakayas. Goes right back to him. Rosakayas just couldn't handle the pass from Espinoza that time. Huff steps into a 3. Good!
Just a matter of time. That might get him started.
Well, everyone who watches the Chattanooga transfer bake says the same thing. When this kid gets going, he's hard to stop. On the other end, Haig for 3. Trying to answer, he can't. West Virginia tied the score on Huff's first make. Can't take the lead here. Lorient fake the mid-range jumper out to Eaglestaff. He's still looking for a bucket. Can he get it here? Off the window, too strong. Xavier Lipscomb to Trey DeVoe. Tie game with under 4.5 left. Eaglestaff doing a great job walling up there.
Yep.
Floyd with the kick to Morris Ugasuk for three. Off the mark. Rebound Xavier Lipscomb. Under 4 to go. Back and forth first half between West Virginia and Mount St. Mary's. Lipscomb to Haig, 6 to shoot. Rosakayas inside. Espinoza is stripped.
Nice job by Honor Huff to get a hand on that ball.
Double-digit turnovers now for the visitors as Floyd slows things down with under 3.5 to go. And he's fouled by Haig.
Not a smart foul by Haig at all.
That's 6 Mount St. Mary's players with at least 1 foul, all tied up with about 3 minutes left in the first half. Warren Baker, Amanda Macy with you on opening night for West Virginia of the Big 12, taking on the reigning Metro Atlantic Tournament champion Mount St. Mary's. All knotted up at 25 apiece. Jasper Floyd to the free throw line to try to change that for WVU, and he does with that first of 2. He's got 10 points and is the first player in double figures. West Virginia in front. Mount St. Mary's has committed 10 team fouls in the first half. So it's double bonus the rest of the way. And once again, West Virginia player that goes 1 of 2. West Virginia now 6 of 12 from the free throw line. WVU had a lengthy scoring drought earlier in this half. Right now, Mount St. Mary's approaching 3 minutes without a point. And it's a 5 count, so that drought will continue. 11 Mount St. Mary's turnovers. Jasper Floyd getting it done on both ends of the floor, Bake.
Yeah, well, the overplay by everyone else, too. They manned up, and there was no outlet at all. Now, one thing I want to say, when Honor Huff is on the court, whoever's guarding him has no help responsibility. They're not going to let him get the ball. They follow him everywhere he goes, and they don't have to worry about helping.
In fact, Lipscomb just really face guarding Huff on this possession with under 3 to go. Floyd is fouled as he goes to the basket. He'll go to shoot 2 here. It's Patrick Haig's second personal. So here's Floyd, who was a 76% free throw shooter a year ago for the Mean Green. He's got the first there. He and Brennan Lorient, the 2 Mean Green transfers, have 18 of West Virginia's 27. 1 for 2 again. McElden inside to DeVoe for the Mount. Back out to Lipscomb. Now Rosakayas. He's had the hot hand early here, but he's gone a bit cold. Possession will stay here with 2:28 left in the first half.
West Virginia fortunate. Rosakayas, that's a good look for him.
Good feed from DeVoe into Lipscomb, but he lost his footing. He traveled. That'll go down in the book as the 12th Mount St. Mary's turnover. West Virginia has only committed 2, Bake. But the other stat of note is that rebounding margin. It's up to plus 14 for Mount St. Mary's. Wow. 23 boards compared to West Virginia's 9. West Virginia converting a dozen Mount St. Mary's turnovers into 14 points. And Lipscomb commits a foul on the wrong end of half court to send Jasper Floyd back to the line.
Yeah, that is not a foul, especially with your leader like Lipscomb is for that ball club. That's not a foul you want to see.
It's his first foul for Lipscomb. And Floyd has made a home at the charity stripe here late in this first half, making the first again.
You know, Donnie Lynn's probably saying, if we had enough players, we'd just keep fouling them so we're only going to get 1 point each time they come down the floor. But that recipe, with the way they're fouling, is certainly not going to last long.
But there you go, Big. Finally, a Mountaineer has gone for 2. That's 13 points for Floyd, 7 unanswered for West Virginia, as the scoring drought for the visitors approaches 4 minutes. Lipscomb, full head of steam to the baseline. Almost gave it up again. Still loose. McElden and Eaglestaff tied up, and we will have a whistle.
I think possession arrow goes to Mount St. Mary's, I believe.
It does. Tie up arrow to the visitors. 2:05 left, 17 on the shot clock. Lipscomb to trigger from the baseline into McElden. Against Obioha. Spinning to the left side, putting it up with his right, and he gets it to drop. Luke McElden, his first bucket. Back to a one-possession game. Huff around the left side, in and out, but he's fouled.
Boy, that is not a foul that Donnie Lynn would like to see. You know, if Honor Huff is going to make a shot, make him make a tough shot like that. Good screen.
It's Haig who gets Huff as he comes back down. So 3 shots here for Honor Huff, the former Chattanooga Mock. And Bake, you mentioned that Mount St. Mary's is shorthanded. 5 players inactive tonight, including Orlandis Keys, who was a big part of last year's run to the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, West Virginia also has 2 guys that are inactive. Chance Moore, the 5th-year guard, and Jackson Fields, the senior forward.
I spoke to Jackson Fields before the game, said, can't wait to see you out there. And he looked like he was ready to jump out of the skin. Says, I can't wait either. And he's getting closer and closer. He's running. He's doing everything but 5-on-5 in practices, so it won't be too long.
Honor Huff has gone 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and West Virginia has matched its largest lead of the night, 32-27. It's a 5-point cushion, and Anastasis Rosakais has to call a timeout as the West Virginia press was too much for the Mount on that restart. So WVU with a 5-point advantage, due in large part to the play of Jasper Floyd, the senior from Tampa, Florida. He leads all scorers with 13 points. Big, what have you liked about his effort tonight?
Well, he's the quarterback of this ball club, and what he usually does is make sure that everybody's in the right position. But when they need scoring, he can do it. And he saw the team really struggling on the offensive end, and he took over.
As our sideline reporter Amanda Mazie described for us earlier, Coach Hodge really leaning on those North Texas transfers, Floyd and Lorient, to be leaders on the court, especially early in the season. They're the guys who are most comfortable in his system. They've combined for 20 of West Virginia's 32 in the first half. They're both on the floor along with Huff, Obioha, and Eaglestaff, as Xavier Lipscomb runs the offense for the visitors. 90 seconds until halftime. Rosakais to DeVoe, thinking about going inside to McElden, and too much contact there from Obioha. His second foul. While Mount St. Mary's has 3 players with 3 fouls. Nobody in real foul trouble yet for West Virginia. A few guys with 2 fouls. But it will be a 1-and-1 here for McElden, after West Virginia commits 7 team fouls here in the first half. Ugasuk back on the floor to replace Obioha. 1-and-1 for McElden. Too strong. Rebound Ugasuk, and he's fouled by McElden.
Boy.
I wonder, Bake, is it fatigue? Is it just frustration? Too many bad fouls here from Mount St. Mary's late.
When they had to call timeout to get the ball in bounds a minute ago, they're beginning to slow down a little bit. You know, you can play this style for a while, but when you got shorter numbers, eventually it wears you down, and that's what West Virginia is beginning to do to Mount St. Mary's now.
So, Haig, Amadi, McElden, 3 fouls apiece from Mount St. Mary's. and we've not yet even reached halftime. McElden will be replaced by Yahya Diop, the 7-foot freshman.
Well, that has to cut down the aggressiveness that Mount St. Mary's can play with, simply because they're going to run out of people the way they're fouling right now.
Ugasuk in and out from the free throw line. West Virginia with a 6-point lead. Trey DeVoe against Ugasuk. Another Mount St. Mary's turnover. 13 in the game now for the visitors. Huff threw it away off the foot of Haig. Run out here for Lipscomb against Floyd. Lipscomb, tough shot from Xavier Lipscomb, his first field goal.
You can see how strong he is as a point guard. He just muscled that in.
Under 45 seconds left. West Virginia still leads by 4, but has gone 4+ minutes without a made field goal. Floyd looks to change that, and he does with the left hand off the window. And a timeout taken by West Virginia head coach Ross Hodge. 7 players have scored for Mount St. Mary's, but remember, So, DeVoe, Haig. Check that. So, Haig, Amadi, and McElden all have 3 fouls. One second difference between the game clock and shot clock as we approach the intermission here at Hope Coliseum. Can Mount St. Mary's trim into the deficit before halftime? Here's Lipscomb inside, rejected by Lorient. Good help by Amir Jenkins too. Under 5 seconds to go. Floyd has to push. 2 seconds. He didn't get it off in time. And it didn't fall anyway, so West Virginia will head into the locker room on opening night with a 35-29 lead over Mount St. Mary's. Floyd leading the way with he was a critical player for them last year during that run to the NCAA tournament. He's out with an injury to begin the season.
You know, and the other things you're going to have to keep an eye on for Mount St. Mary's will be the fatigue. It's going to become an issue.
Mountaineers have it first. They lead by 2 possessions to begin the second half. Great strip there by Anastasis Rosakaias to the basket. Can't convert it on the other end.
Rosakaias was worried more about getting fouled than really trying to make that shot just now.
It's Jasper Floyd into the key for West Virginia to honor Huff with that quick trigger. Short that time. Lorient, Floyd, Huff, Eaglestaff, and Obioha, the original starting 5 for WVU, back on the floor to begin the second half. Another Mount St. Mary's turnover. Floyd to the cup. Tough finish.
Well, you can see the strength of Jasper Floyd on that move. Absorbed the contact, still had enough to get it up on the board and in.
Floyd averaged 9 a game last season, scoring-wise, for North Texas. He's got 17 tonight, and West Virginia now has 18 points off turnovers. On the other end, Anastasis Rosakaias answers for Mount St. Mary's. He has 8 points.
Yeah, miscommunication by the Mountaineer defense. Somebody didn't call out a pick or something, but he was wide open inside.
Mount St. Mary's shot at 43% in the first half. WVU 40%, but just 2 of 8, now 2 of 9 from beyond the arc. Eaglestaff, that's one way to try to get your way onto the score sheet. He misses the 3, but will go to the free throw line. Fouled by Rosakaias, his first.
That's the second time that they fouled a 3-point shooter. Huff the first time, he knocked down all 3. Let's see if these 3 free throws gets Eaglestaff going.
And both of them were identical, right, Bake? You can't foul, you can't make contact on the player when he's coming back down to the floor. That's what happened both times. So here's Eaglestaff, the transfer from North Dakota, in and out for the first. West Virginia now 13 for 22 on the night from the free throw line. That's about 60%. Eaglestaff does have his first point. Terrific scorer for North Dakota last season. Just shy of 19 points per game. He was the only player in the country with multiple 40-plus point games last season. He's gone 1 for 3 there.
Yeah, he had more than 40 points at Alabama when Alabama was number 6 last year.
Foul on the entry pass. think they're going to tag Obioha with this one, and they do. Referees tonight, Brett Smith, Tyler Kumpf, John Gaffney. That's Obioha's third, and so he'll exit. And he's replaced by the freshman DJ Thomas. Extended minutes tonight for a pair of true freshmen on Coach Hodges' roster, Thomas and Amir Jenkins. Lipscomb well short. That might have been deflected by Floyd.
It was blocked.
Lorient to Huff. Have to defend him at the top of the arc. Lorient is double teamed. He hits Eagle staff. Now Floyd, great ball fake to get a player in the air. To Huff, who gets set for three. No basket there, and it's a 7-point West Virginia lead still as the Mountaineers come up empty. Xavier Lipscomb. Cross-court pass is taken away by Lorient. 15 turnovers for the Mounts. Thomas!
Lorient looked just like a point guard on that time. Pass it right at the right time. Excellent job.
West Virginia leads 40-31. Half of its points, 20 of them, have come off turnovers. Huff in front of the scorer's table tried to save it. It'll stay with Mount St. Mary's.
You know, that pass came right up, led him right into the layup. And that's what you want to see. That's what you see out of most point guards. But Lorient did a nice job with it.
His first assist of the ball game was a terrific feed there to set up Thomas. More active hands here from West Virginia. 5 on the shot clock here for Mount St. Mary's to restart it on the near side. Rosacais to inbound. DeVoe has it, and a foul by Lorient, his second.
You know, could they have let that go? Yeah, they could have, but, you know, a lot of officials are going to call it as a foul, and you have to adjust the way the officials are calling it, and if Lorient gets in that situation again, hopefully he won't make the contact.
So a fresh shot clock here for Mount St. Mary's, back up to 20. Now it's down to 10. Xavier Lipscomb to Rosacais. Good defending by Floyd. Rosacais puts it up. Off-balance shot, falls short. Huff from deep. Too strong. Rebound Thomas. Spinning in. Look at the freshman go. Can't finish it, though.
Just not high enough on the board. The move was great.
9-point West Virginia lead, 16.5 left in the ball game. McElden with a strong take.
Yeah. Took Lorient to the rack that time. Good, strong move.
Mount St. Mary's trying to hang tough with West Virginia on opening night at Hope Coliseum. Floyd over So. Didn't have the right touch.
Yep. Just a bit short.
Anastasis Rosacais from Mount St. Mary's. Now Mason So puts it up. Rebound West Virginia, Lorient, and he's fouled. And that'll take us to our first timeout of the second half. West Virginia,
one trip recruiting visit to West Virginia, but Coach Hodge sold us on the deal right away. We love the Mountaineers, so pretty easy decision.
It paid off. Yes. Good decision, Dad. Thank you so much for joining us, Nick.
All right, Amanda, thanks. That's Amanda Mazey with Tashawn Jenkins, the father of the freshman Amir Jenkins, who almost put that in and will go to the free throw line. He's fouled by Justin Amati. That's the 4th personal for the redshirt senior for Mount St. Mary's. So Jenkins, let's take another look at it here, Bake, on this baseline drive. Such an interesting story. As Amanda just alluded to, he reclassified and graduated high school early to come to West Virginia, a top 100 recruit, really highly touted player in the state of Massachusetts, a back-to-back state champion in high school. And he and his family, they've just said it, they loved West Virginia, but more specifically loved what Coach Hodges' philosophy is.
Yes.
And the way that he coaches and the way that he creates relationships with players. Jenkins with his first collegiate point there.
Well, you know, and he has the luxury of having to play against Jasper Floyd and Honor Huff now, too. So he's only going to mature having to do that every day.
So Coach Hodge had his pregame press conference yesterday. McElden, he puts it in for Mount St. Mary's. And I think a telltale sign of maturity, Bake, is when sports information directors are willing to let true freshmen speak after their head coaches at these press conferences. And Jenkins had his number called before his first regular season game, so that's a pretty good indicator. Ugasuk to Lorient. Here's Honor Huff. He had 1-3 in the first half. Back to Lorient, 4 to shoot. Getting it around to Ugasuk for 3. Got it. Morris Ugasuk, the junior transfer from Helsinki, Finland, with his first field goal.
By way of South Carolina.
9-point West Virginia lead. McElden physically to the hoop again. West Virginia with the rebound. The WVU Mountaineers have their largest lead of the game. They've not led by double digits yet. Jenkins short on the floater. Xavier Lipscomb to the hoop. Loose ball. Jenkins can't corral it. But it's West Virginia ball. Last touch by Mount St. Mary's. This was great ball movement from West Virginia.
Yes, it was. And you know, West Virginia with the great ball movement and getting energy from guys coming off the bench, and that's been huge.
And Coach Hodge has continued to rotate players in and out.
Yes.
Really no Mountaineer in foul trouble other than Harlan Obioha on the bench, the big fella with 3 personals. It's Jenkins running the offense with Floyd on the bench. Cross-court pass from Lorient to Ugasuk. Now Huff for 3. Yes, sir. Honor Huff. 9 points for the 2024-25 national leader in threes. Double-digit lead for WVU for the first time tonight. Lorient went for the steal. DeVoe with a kick to Haig. Errant pass, and boy, Mount St. Mary's is going to get bailed out here on a foul call on DJ Thomas.
Yep.
Honor Huff, his second 3 of the ball game. That is very much his game. He was exceptional for Chattanooga last season, leading the country in 3-point field goals made, 4th in the country in 3-point field goals per game, helping Chattanooga win the NIT.
And he really hasn't shot it that well from 3 tonight, but they're going to be nice when he comes out here and won't be able to miss, and he will put on a treat for Mountaineer fans.
Mountaineers with 6 unanswered. They lead by 12. Great defending by Jenkins. Jasper Floyd back into the game for WVU. Jenkins back to Floyd. Huff, Lorient, Ugasuk also out there for West Virginia. Under 13 left in the game. Below, mid-range J, off the mark. Xavier Lipscomb, boy, thought that was a pass there to DeVoe. Maybe thought about an alley-oop. That one just did not work.
Yeah, he had him wide open, just a bad pass.
A lot of Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers in foul trouble. 1 player with 4 fouls, 3 more with 3. 5 other players inactive tonight for the Mount. It's going to be hard to keep the pace with West Virginia, especially trailing now by double digits. Huff with a step-back 3. You can tell the student section behind us, Bake, wanted that to fall. The Mountaineer Maniacs donning their Hodge Squad shirts on opening night. Xavier Lipscomb. Baseline was taken away from him. Here's Mason So. Under 10 to shoot. DeVoe, open look from the top of the arc. Too strong. Here's a rebound by Jenkins. And Coach Hodge wants a timeout for West Virginia. Mountaineers up by a dozen against the Mountaineers. It's West Virginia 40.
We see a zone for the first time tonight out of Mount St. Mary's. You're going to play zone, you better find Honor Huff.
It's Ugasuk for three. Rebound by Xavier Lipscomb. So, Amanda, back on Donnie Lind. He really is a guy who's multi-talented, as you came to find out, beyond hot dog eating contests.
Yeah, he's a minister. Who knew?
Wow.
Coach Lynn's dad is a real minister and married he and his wife. His sister wanted their dad to marry them, but he thought he might get a little bit too emotional. So the sister asked Coach Lynn if he would do it, and he was like, sure. So he wanted to get legally officiated, so he just went on the internet, paid a few bucks, and now he can do it. And apparently he's one of 3 finalists to officiate assistant coach Dave Matora's upcoming wedding. So we're rooting for you, Coach.
There's finalists. Oh, wow. I mean, very popular guy.
Listen, you're only one bad season away from a new profession, so Coach Lynn's got some options. Guy's talented.
All right, Amanda, thanks. That's Brennan Lorient with the high-flying alley-oop to put West Virginia back up by 12. Lorient now with 9 points in his Mountaineer debut.
Really nice setup by Jasper Floyd.
Xavier Lipscomb in the key. He's fouled. And that'll take us to another timeout with just over, looking for career win number 1 at WVU. Still has some business to take care of, though, with 10+ to go against Mount St. Mary's. Xavier Lipscomb at the free throw line. He's really earning his per diem from the charity stripe tonight, Bake. This is his 4th trip to the free throw line. He's got 8 points on the night, with 6 of them coming from the foul line. And we've got a lane violation here. Diop's foot was in the key. Very rare that you see that called.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's as good as a turnover here. That's something that Mount St. Mary's has had an issue with tonight against this tough, physical, aggressive West Virginia defense. 17 Mount St. Mary's turnovers compared to just 4 committed on the offensive end by West Virginia. Brennan Lorient back to the hoop. Working against Lipscomb, kicks it to Floyd. Floyd trying to go back inside maybe to Lorient. Pass is taken away. 5th West Virginia turnover. Mountaineers, as we mentioned, have forced 17 turnovers, converting those into 20 points off turnovers. Almost had another one.
You know, that constant pressure will wear on you after a while.
Change here for Mount St. Mary's. Anastasis Rosakeas back into the game. Xavier Lipscomb, the 6'2" grad student, will take a seat. Under 10 minutes left. West Virginia still up double digits. Largest lead of the game for the Mountaineers. 12 points about a minute ago. Mason So inside to Diop. The 7-footer tries the hook shot, misses everything. Floyd, Lorient, Huff, Eaglestaff, and Obioha, the original starting 5 out there for West Virginia. Good active hands there by Haig. Back-to-back turnovers for West Virginia. Rosakeas, a 3. Off rim. Rebound DeVoe, and he's fouled. Eaglestaff with his first personal for West Virginia.
You know, and Eaglestaff and the rest of the Mountaineers defense, they came out tonight. First time out here, I'm telling you, there were butterflies in everybody's belly out there tonight. You know, I don't care how long you've been playing. When you come out, especially in a new environment like this, you have the jitters.
Here's Trey DeVoe, makes the 2nd of 2, former junior college All-American at Central Community College. He has 7 points for the Mount. Jasper Floyd, the game's leading scorer with 17 exits for West Virginia, replaced by Jenkins. 10-point WVU lead, about 9 minutes left. wants to pull it from deep. Off mark again is Huff. Shooting about 25% from beyond the arc in the game. He's now 2 for 9 from 3, 2 for 10 from the field. Rosickeas, great defense though by Huff to get it back for West Virginia. Eaglestaff with his head up. Huff, a transition 3. Yes, sir. Honor Huff is the second player in double digits for West Virginia. He has a dozen with a trio of three-pointers, and West Virginia has its largest lead, 52-39.
Maybe more than once, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a night when he goes off.
As a team, West Virginia shooting 39% from the field, 29% from beyond the arc. Mount St. Mary's 38% from the field, 27 from three-point range. Maybe another turnover here, nearly by the Mount. Jenkins hustling for it. It's out of bounds. It'll be Mount St. Mary's ball at midcourt with 8:03 left and 4 seconds on the shot clock.
West Virginia didn't come up with that ball, but that's something that Coach Hodge will tell his players. I was glad to see that. You know, that's what I want to see out of you guys.
So has to put it up. Oh my, how did that go? Mason So.
Well, won't go in if you don't shoot it. Oh, gosh.
Off the bank and a dance around the rim and in. 10-point game. West Virginia had its largest lead of the night at 13. Obioha is held up before the shot. You don't see this every day, Big.
Nope. Off balance. Toss it up. You know, every player on the court out there at some point in time, regardless of when it was, whether it was in pee-wee school, middle school, everybody's thrown one in like that at some point in time.
Fourth foul there on Luke McElden. West Virginia ball under the basket.
Oh, boy.
7th West Virginia turnover. Coach Hodge just puts his hands above his head there. Rosickeas on the other end.
Boy, he had a good look.
Jenkins trying to hustle. Lorient has it up to Eaglestaff. Back to Lorient. He was able to collect it in the key. Now it's stripped away again. Good defending from the Mount. Lipscomb into the corner. Can So hit from 3 again. He thought about it. Trey DeVoe. He'll try a 3. Still loose. Last touch by the Mount. West Virginia ball.
I'll tell you, you've got to give Mount St. Mary's a ton of credit. They've had opportunities to fall a number of times between foul trouble and turning the ball over. And, you know, 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes to go, only down 10. I mean, if you're Donnie Lynn, you have to be very happy about this. You know, one quick thing that I'd like to bring up about him, too.
We'll resume here with an inbound out of bounds on the far side baseline. Back underway after a long review. Mount St. Mary's in possession. So with a drive and kick. Now it's out to Xavier Lipscomb to Trey DeVoe. 5 to shoot. DeVoe against Obioha. Got it in and a foul.
Man, what a tough shot.
Tough finish here by DeVoe over the seven-footer Obioha, and then it's a foul off the ball by Floyd trying to get position for a potential rebound. So that means Mount St. Mary's will have possession again.
Yeah, it wasn't on the shot. It was away from the ball.
And West Virginia only with 16 fouls as well, so it's not a one-and-one situation either. So, boy, this is a potentially significant sequence in this game. It could have been West Virginia ball with a 10-point lead, but instead we go replay review, change of possession, Mount St. Mary's scores, and gets the ball again with a chance to make it a 2-possession game with about 6.5 remaining. Trey DeVoe had the bucket in that last sequence. So inside McElden, and it is a 6-point game. The Mount is hanging around.
Mason So with a tremendous drive and dish.
7 unanswered over the last 100 seconds of this game for Mount St. Mary's. Can West Virginia respond? Huff to Obioha. Physical step forward. He'll go to the free throw line, earning it here.
Look at this dish. Excellent pass. Wow.
So as we look again at the McElden basket, that will be his final action here because he's just picked up his 5th personal on the foul to send Obioha to the line. So McElden is done with 6:05 left.
Well, the free throw line hasn't actually been very, very good to West Virginia tonight. Obioha hits the first one.
Mountaineers shooting below 60% for the game. Bake, to your point, at the line. That's about even with what it shot from the free throw line in the exhibition game against Wheeling. Rosacais nearly committed a lane violation there as Obioha goes 2 for 2. In fact, West Virginia in its exhibition against Wheeling shot 56%, 9 for 16. Mountaineers have taken a bunch more free throws. In fact, a dozen more so far tonight, because Mount St. Mary's has committed fouls in bunches. 8-point West Virginia lead. So attacking the hoop again, kicking it out to DeVoe. This time he can't connect, and it's another Mount St. Mary's turnover. Make it 20 turnovers forced by WVU.
Well, you come into a hostile situation, you turn it over that many times and still only down 8 with plenty of time left. I'm telling you, that's a credit to the way they've played otherwise.
Yeah, Big, both of these teams shooting 40% from the field, but really the difference in the score is West Virginia's free throws. Mountaineers lead by 8. They've made 9 more foul shots than the visitors. Great take there by Jasper Floyd. That ends a field goal drought for WVU as Floyd is now up to 19 points in his debut for WVU. Rebound West Virginia. 5 minutes left in the game. Mountaineers up 10. Lorient to Huff, around to Ugasuk. 5 to shoot for DJ Thomas on the near side. Thomas with a fadeaway, got the J.
Big shot for Thomas inside.
Mount St. Mary's cut it to 6 a few moments ago. West Virginia rattling off 6 unanswered to take its cushion back to a dozen. Xavier Lipscomb inside to DeVoe, and he's fouled.
And Mount St. Mary's has done a great job of cutting backdoor on the defenders for West Virginia and getting passes inside.
That's 4 fouls now on the freshman DJ Thomas as DeVoe goes to the free throw line for Mount St. Mary's. He's 1 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Make it 2 for 3. He's the first Mount St. Mary's Mountaineer in double figures with 10. 82% free throw shooter a season ago at Western Illinois. He hit both.
And Mount coming back with the full court pressure again, trying to create something defensively.
And West Virginia's the team who's forced a bunch of turnovers tonight. Mount St. Mary's needs to start forcing them itself in order to try to make this a ball game again. Huff for 3, in and out. But an offensive rebound for West Virginia through Ugasuk. Thomas, his pass to Lorient goes out of bounds, but there's a foul on Rosacais. West Virginia a double-digit lead with under 4 minutes for that one. Even though no current West Virginia player has played in the brawl, the only returning player on the roster is Abraham Oyedir, but he redshirted last year and hasn't officially played in a game for WVU. All right, action resumes with West Virginia in front by 10 with about 3.5 left in the game. Mountaineers trying to give Coach Ross Hodge his first win, and that'll help. Brennan Lorient.
That was a play right out of the timeout. A back screen, a toss-up.
Oh, look at that. Oh, but a foul whistled a bit late here on Lorient.
Coach Hodge almost at half court. He is upset.
Amati is the player fouled by Lorient, his third personal. Lorient had the flush on the oop on the other end.
A backdoor cut. Perfectly executed.
That's the first point of the second half for Justin Amati. Chance to bring the deficit back to 10 here with the second free throw. In and out, loose ball, last touch by the Mount. It was a 6-point game with about 6 minutes to go, but West Virginia has extended its lead back to double digits. WVU making 4 of its last 5 field goal attempts, including that dunk by Lorient a moment ago out of the timeout. He, Floyd, and Huff are all in double figures for West Virginia in the season opener. Oh, Floyd lost his footing there. So is right on top of him, and I think So fouled him, just a little bit too aggressive.
Actually, kind of scared you when you saw Floyd go down just now, because he just slipped.
Yeah, lost it on his left foot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes those non-contact moments are just
exactly right.
You hold your breath there
Yes.
if you're a West Virginia fan. But Floyd will go to the stripe here to shoot a pair, or sorry, shoot a 1-and-1, as that's the 7th team foul on the Mount. No roll, tip in by Bilo, off the mark. Lorient again keeping possession for West Virginia.
Coach Hodge wants him to spread out, run some clock.
Floyd to the basket, tough finish for Jasper Floyd. 21 points in his West Virginia debut.
Get out of my way and let me take over.
West Virginia has matched its largest lead of the game. Good defense there by Thomas on Lipscomb, but it'll be Mount St. Mary's ball.
Strong to the left.
Mountaineers have made 5 of their last 7 in crunch time late in the second half. Meanwhile, Mount St. Mary's has gone more than 4 minutes without a field goal. Morris Ugasuk is whistled for his 3rd personal foul on the inbounds pass. That's 9 team fouls for WVU. So it's a 1-and-1 here for Rosakais for Mount St. Mary's. Any other fouls after that will be 2 shots for the Mount.
You know, you look at what Mount St. Mary's has done without one of their top players in Orlando Keys. You know, if he was playing tonight, I tell you what, it may be a little bit more different than it is now, or difficult, because he's one of their better players and he's not available.
First trip to the free throw line for Anastasis Rosakais. 6'7" junior, sorry, 6'7" sophomore from Athens, Greece. He goes 1 for 2, loose ball, Lorient kept it in. As we approach the final 2 minutes of the ball game. West Virginia has done it with defense tonight, 20 turnovers forced. Here's Honor Huff inside to Thomas. 5 on the shot clock. Back to Floyd. Goes to the hoop again. And another strong finish from Jasper Floyd. 23 points. West Virginia has its largest lead.
Cannot stop him. If you don't get in front of him, he's going to go by you and make that shot.
Xavier Lipscomb in the corner. Cross-court pass to an open Trey DeVoe for 3. Got it. $14 points for DeVoe. That leads Mount St. Mary's. Still an 11-point lead for West Virginia. The Mount tries to double, and then DeVoe fouls Floyd. So back to the free throw line for Jasper Floyd for another 1-and-1. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1 a couple of minutes ago. That one goes through.
Floyd has done exactly what you want your true quarterback, your leader, to do when times get tough. When times get tough, he has to take over, and he has done that tonight.
Remember, he only averaged 9 a game last season for Coach Hodge at North Texas. He's now got 25 tonight in his first appearance for West Virginia. That, by the way, ties a career high for Floyd. He had 25 back in 2023 in a non-conference game against Yale. He's wasted no time in matching his career high in his first career game for West Virginia. Honor Huff, tough take, he'll go to the line. Well, big West Virginia has gotten stronger as this game has gone on, hasn't it? I know there might be something to be said about Mount St. Mary's now having a second player foul out. 5 players for the Mountain active tonight for Coach Lind and company. But this was a 6-point game with about 6 minutes or so to go. And then West Virginia just took care of business.
Yeah, and West Virginia had good help off the bench tonight. I like what the bench did coming in. There's not going to be many games that you see Trayson Eaglestaff only have 1 point, and that's what he has tonight. So, don't sleep on that if you're an opponent, because that's not going to stay.
Honor Huff, a perfect 5 for 5 from the line tonight with 14 points. West Virginia has its largest lead of the game. 15-point cushion for WVU in the final 30 seconds. DeVoe is fouled by DJ Thomas. I think that's the 5th on Thomas.
I'll tell you what, Mount St. Mary's deserves all the credit in the world for coming in here and playing the Mountaineers as tough as they have. Being shorthanded, turning the ball over as many times as they have, but they have not folded, and they had opportunities to fold a number of times.
Been a solid game for DeVoe. He has 14 points. That's a game high for Mount St. Mary's. But his efforts not going to be enough tonight. Honor Huff gets it across the timeline. And he's fouled.
Well, Ross Hodge starts out 1-0. It wasn't easy, but a win is a win.
Next action for West Virginia is Thursday against Campbell. Mount St. Mary's at home Friday against Bucknell. That's a 7 o'clock tip. for the Mount. Will also be the game that the team reveals and hangs a banner for its Metro Atlantic Championship a season ago.
After meeting, Donnie Lynn, it's hard not to root for those guys during the rest of the year. They're Mountaineers too, but he's such a joy to talk to, and I really enjoyed our time with him.
Huff stays perfect at the charity stripe, 16 points, and it's a 16-point West Virginia lead. The Mountaineers end the game with their largest lead. It's 6 seconds left, and it will be a 16-point margin of victory for West Virginia head coach Ross Hodge, who has win #1 in Morgantown. West Virginia 70, Mount St. Mary's 54 on opening night.